Smoking and the coronavirus, how to beat the pandemic, 3 tips to survival. In today's video, I'm going to go over for you everything you need to know about why you want to quit smoking because of the coronavirus. Then I'm going to tell you the 2 choices you actually have. And then I'm going to give you 3 tips depending upon which of the 2 choices you actually make. My name's Ted Bradley, Master Hypnotist, and I specialize in helping people just like you quit smoking for life, how to lose weight, and how to beat anxiety and stress. Let's hop right in. So the very first thing is, why is it important to do something now? Number 1, being a smoker increases our mortality rate of the coronavirus by 16.9%. What that means is, if you are a smoker, you are more likely to die if you contract the coronavirus. Why? Because the coronavirus is a respiratory virus. It causes death by respiratory issues. Guess what smoking does? It damages and hurts our respiratory system. There is a correlation and a connection between the 2. Reason number 2 why you need to take action now is smoking makes the coronavirus symptoms worse. You're already a smoker, you're already causing yourself respiratory distress, and now you develop the coronavirus on top of that. It makes it worse, the symptoms worse. Reason number 3, even if you survive the coronavirus, it increases the likelihood of permanent damage. Here's the thing, okay? When we get flus and colds, most people get some lung damage, but our body has this great ability to repair. If the lung damage, when we get like really bad pneumonia or really bad flus, is in excess, it becomes permanent. Okay, most people can handle this, but when you're a smoker, you are more likely to have that damage be permanent. The next thing you need to understand is you have 2 choices. You really have 2. 1, don't quit, okay, and hunker down. Or 2, quit. Those are really your only 2 choices. So let's go over some tips for each one of those. Number 1, let's go over the first one, which is if you decide to not quit, here are 3 things that you can do. This information is widely accessible and it's out there everywhere. Number 1 tip that you can do is to self-quarantine. Isolate. You cannot go to work. You cannot go out in public. You have to isolate yourself from other people in your life and in your house. Unless everyone in your home is self-isolated and not going out into public, you have to isolate yourself from them. That's tip number 1. Self-quarantine and isolate. Tip number 2, hygiene. Wash your hands and sanitize. And the number 1 thing in tip number 2 you can do is do not touch your face. It's almost impossible because we know that we touch our face over 1,000 times a day. It's self-soothing. And so what's happening is we have this great desire in times of stress, like now, to touch our face, to self-soothe. We have to catch ourselves and stop. So if you're not going to quit, you have to wash your hands more frequently than you ever have before and catch yourself from touching your face. Tip number 3, clean. And I mean clean everything. The door handle on your car. If you have to go out to go shopping, you have to clean the grocery cart where you put your hands. You have to clean everything. Your door handles in your home. Any surface you touch, because that's how it spreads. The virus gets on a surface. We touch that surface with our hands, and then our hand touches our face. So the 3 things you can do if you're not going to quit, and you got to do them hardcore, is you have to self-quarantine, isolate. You have to have hygiene like you've never had before, and you have to clean everything. If you do those 3 tips, you're golden. If you're going to quit, these are the 3 tips, and this is a great choice. Choice number 1, tip number 1 is pick a method. There are many methods out there. There is nicotine replacement therapies, which is essentially the gum, the patch, anything like that, vaping, okay? That's a method. You could do hypnotherapy. You can do just cold turkey. There are many methods out there. But whichever method it is, even if you choose my method, which is a combination of hypnosis, neurolinguistic programming, and EFT, which is essentially just another way of saying dealing with the unconscious mind, the conscious mind, and how we create identity. Whichever method you pick, whether mine or another one, just pick a lane and drive in it. Tip number 2, prepare your mind. And here's why why this is such an important tip. We know that people that just quit cold turkey only have a 6% success rate, which is below placebo. Okay? So that's not good enough. We need to increase our chances. And one of the ways we can increase our chances is by start to think about our quitting, just not doing it, but starting to prepare our mind. There are many methods to preparing your mind for quitting smoking. There's mine, which can be downloaded right off my website. There are other ones. They usually have between 5 to 9 steps, okay? Mine has 7 steps, and one of those steps is tip number 3. But just before we jump onto that, go and download somebody's ebook about how to prepare your mind for quitting smoking. You will increase your chances of success. Tip number 3, pick a date and don't look back. Whatever you do, the key thing in preparing your mind is setting a date and just going forward. And here's the thing, I have a bonus for you. A bonus tip, which is so important, is whatever you do, do it now. Fate favors those that do. Here's why this is so important in my 3 tips if you're going to quit, is that it's not that it doesn't matter what method you do. The difference between the methods are they all work. Some are more likely to work than others, but they all do work. And so whatever you do, whatever method you pick, just do it. Because here's the thing. The one thing we do know about the people that are successful at quitting smoking is they just do it. Whatever you do, do it. Here's why. Action and doing of something, of anything, has genius and boldness, and it has magic in it. For whatever reason, when we pick a path and we go down that path, unforeseen incidences and things just materialize and get there with us to help us accomplish whatever it is we are trying to accomplish. So whatever it is you're going to do, just do it, and do it now. Thank you, and please subscribe to my channel, join my Facebook group. You can reach out to me at any time, contact me. You can find my phone number on my website, my email address. I'm happy to help anyone in any way I can to quit smoking for life. Blessings to everyone, and do it now.